Live video audience. You don't have live. Yep. Welcome in, Bridging Civil Tension. Woo, a lot of civil tension out there right now. Of course, Civil Tension, the show here where we're going to talk about, build bridges, and talk about things that people want to argue about, fight about, and, well, just be tense. Right. Thus the word tension. He is Phil Wallace. Phil Wallace, author, entrepreneur, coach, mentor, visionary, all-around good guy. And today we'll be playing... Are you going to go African-American on this one? All right. You're going to go with the African-American role on the show today.
It works.
Me, I'm Kent, CFO, founder of 216 DDOE or 216 Studios.
Hey.
Absolutely here. I enjoy life. I'm weird. And I will be playing the part. You know, I think I'm going to go African-American today, too.
There we go. Come on in.
Let's do that.
Come on in.
Welcome. You know, because sometimes chocolate has to be white as well, right?
It's white chocolate.
All right.
You ever seen Kent on the basketball court?
That's it.
You know that's true.
Here we go. SG3, good morning. Good morning, brother. Glad to have you with us. Okay. A lot of stuff going on. I'm a bit irritated.
Ooh.
I'm a bit irritated with what's going on for a couple different reasons. Yesterday, 5 police officers were found guilty of murder.
Right. Second-degree murder.
So, here's the deal.
Kidnapping and something else.
Yeah, there's just a bunch, right? Here's the deal. They pull over a young man. Mm-hmm. Listen to what I'm going to say. 80 yards from his home. 80 yards from his home. So not even a football field from his home. Beat him to death. Put him in the hospital. Now, this happened January 7th of this year.
Right.
I didn't see any headlines of that. Did you?
Did not.
Until yesterday. So I asked my mom and dad were in town. I asked my mom, I said, did you hear about this back on January 7th? My mom says, I think I heard something. Right? I think I heard something. Okay. Now, 5 police officers in Memphis brutally beat and end up, the young man went into intensive care, died 3 days later. So died on January 10th. Did you hear anything about the death on January 10th?
I did not.
I did not either. But yesterday, I'm scrolling through some things and I'm like, what in the what? 5 police officers, 5. And the gentleman who died is African American.
Right.
Here we go again. Well, then I find out that all 5 of the men found guilty of murder are also African American.
Right.
And I go, what? Hold on a minute. What? Okay. Terrible. And I went to Yahoo. So if you go to Yahoo News. I sent you the link. So I went to Yahoo News to go, what is going on?
To inquire.
And I pulled up this report. And what does it show me, Phil? It shows me 5 African American in hooded sweatshirts. Every one of them, right?
Every one of them. Every police officer.
Every police officer. This is on Yahoo, okay? And I go, well, boy,
that's baiting.
Yeah,
that's baiting.
I'm like, so I'm like, this is weird because I'm like, first of all, I didn't hear about this.
Right.
I don't listen to the news. It could have very well been on there. I don't know. And if you're listening and it was, then cool, let us know. But I go, had it been 5 white guys, it would have been blown up on the 7th, right? Like, hey, 5 white officers kill African American. Okay. And you sure as heck would have seen them in their police uniforms. Right? Now,
I've never seen a police officer picture in a hoodie.
Never.
I'm trying to think like sincerely. Not even in the aspect of just cop kills African American.
And so if we go back, it's in the orange jumpsuit.
But that's after they got convicted.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's during this phase, it's decorated uniform.
Yes.
And if they have a military background, it's military uniform,
Yes.
but at least it's the decorated police officer uniform with the side profile.
Not hoodies.
Not hoodies.
Every one of them. Right? Every one of them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look, this is crazy. Did they have teddy bear?
Uh-oh. That would have been the TBC.
The TBC.
Strikes again.
You're wrong on several levels, and that's why I love you. So then I'm like, okay. So I go to a different one, Reuters or Reuters. I don't know what affiliation they have or whatever. But then there are the 5 they showed them, and I'm like, well, that's how we should have showed them.
Right.
Why did we have to? So I'm talking with my mom who's in town, and I'm like, so here we are again portraying the thug life in the news on your Yahoo, right? And why? Right now? The other thing is I'm listening to the news today, and this is just sickening, and I don't understand why I do understand why they do this. For the reaction, they're going to release the video of this man's murder.
Oh, wait, so body cam worked. Okay.
Right?
Now that thing works.
And I'm like, why? Why are you now? Memphis today is bracing, and the young man's mother, whose heart has been ripped out of her chest in the last couple of weeks, said, "Listen, if you're going to protest this, protest peacefully. Do not burn down our cities. We don't want violence. Violence is what caused this." I mean, so it was a beautiful thing for her to say, right? But I'm watching the puppet master, how this is, and I'm like, wait a minute. On the 7th, when it happened, it would have been 5 white officers beating, you know what I mean? We're going to try to rip that fabric. Mm-hmm. But because the race wasn't there, the racial change. But again, folks, that's not why we took a knee. We took a knee because of police brutality.
Right.
We didn't take it because of white police brutality.
In any form.
In any form.
Towards any race.
But now, of course, these guys aren't Barney Fife and Andy, are they?
They were fired, right?
Oh, they were fired.
No paid leave?
No paid leave.
5 for 5, all fired.
Boom, boom, boom. That day.
Because we talk about Minneapolis. Paid leave.
Paid leave.
In the other cities.
Paid leave.
But if it's these cops, all fired?
Okay, now
it's not about race, so I wonder what the difference is.
Yeah, just
because everybody else got paid leave.
Maybe it's the way that Memphis runs their police.
They didn't. Okay.
Now, to me, it's tragic.
That's surprising.
To me, it's tragic, right? But that guillotine came down swift, didn't it?
A lot swifter. Man, there was immediate firing. He said they were of 2nd-degree murder already.
Found guilty. I mean, that was quick. Bing, bang, boom. It didn't take a year to get to that.
So it wasn't a trial 8 months later or a year and a half later when things have died down and then we get a chance to give them a 2-year sentence like we do for other officers. It wasn't like that, right?
It happened.
Because we talk about this, right?
He died on the 10th. Today is the 27th. By the way, 3 years ago yesterday. 24. Rest in peace.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because we talk about this in other trials, right? The trial is always after it dies down a little bit. So you forget about it. And that when they say, okay, you'll serve a year and a half and then you'll have
Yeah.
So I wonder what the difference is.
And that's what I'm trying to gather.
You'll serve 18 months and then parole.
That's what I'm trying to gather. Now there's like 5 or 6 other charges that they're up on as well, but they've been found guilty of murder. That was a quick trial. That was a quick jury.
Very quick trial.
That was a quick jury selection, I guess, right? And it's not separate trials. I don't know if it was or not. It just seems fast for 5 separate trials.
There was a trial. I want to say a case like 3 or 4 months ago, and we were saying it's too early for this. This has to happen, and then this has to happen. Remember that?
Yeah.
And none of that is taking place in this particular trial. All of a sudden, the same people who needed all the information, we can't say, have already.
Yeah. And there wasn't enough uprising from this, so now we have to release the video.
Well,
what?
At the same time, okay, let's say that we make this as popular as Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Right? Well, then if we make it that popular, when we show them in hoodies, that's a lot of eyes that are noticing what we're doing.
That's
a
true.
lot of eyes. But then if we made it just as popular, it's a lot of eyes saying that we want to get, once again, turn them in, criminalize even more so. I'm not saying that they're good people. I'm just saying I've never seen another officer in black hoodies, 5 for 5 in these types of situations. None of the Breonna Taylor officers had black hoodies and a darker pictured mugshot.
It really was.
Was it darker?
It was.
Like these mother lovers are grimacing right now. Like this is you look suspicious. I've never seen a.
Right.
Where's the lighting
now,
fixture?
Here's where I'll go with this. I don't know the background or the history on these five men who were police officers. Okay. I don't know if they have families. I don't know if they have children. I don't know anything about them. Right. The tragedy is another human's life, African American, non-African American, whatever, was taken at the hands of who you entrust to keep you safe. Now, listen, you're 80 yards. So what is that? 2 city blocks? 1 city block on a traffic stop.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if the young man was 6'10", looked like Shaq. I don't know that. I really don't. Right. I don't know if he was 5'2" and looked like Urkel. I don't know that.
Right.
I don't know what kind of. I don't know if it was a high-speed chase for 3 days across America and they finally stopped him, and that's why there were 5. That's 3 squad cars. Hey, you rolled through that stop sign. Get out! I don't know the story, right? So I can't speak on that. But dude is literally 2 blocks from his house.
The next time you see 2 police cars pull someone over, check the color of the driver.
Yeah. Right. Why is this coming out now in this film? The vest cams or the dash cams didn't come out on the 10th when this young man died. Why is it now after we've said guilty? After a quick case. That's 5. Usually that would be 5 individual cases, I would guess. Right. 5 individual trials. And it usually would go, listen, Phil has served his community for 15 years as a police officer here in Memphis. He's upstanding. He coaches Little League. He goes to church. Yes, that is him kicking him there, but it looks more like a slip.
The part,
right?
Yes. The part I was watching the YouTube, and the lady said, and it was known that a few of these officers did have 2 prior incidents.
Okay, so we go back to this now.
Depending on who you're asking, 2 is a lot, right? Hey, this has happened.
What? Yes.
Right?
Yes.
2. Okay. Kent. Apparently in Minneapolis, who had 13.
13. Well, so 15 maybe is the number. Is that the tipping point?
I'm just saying, like,
Right.
If
So hey, we had a long way to go.
If that time 13 wasn't too many, Phil, if you think about all the incidences the police officers come in over the duration of his career, 13 is really not that high of a number. But 2 is. I'm looking for the consistency. Now, kind of for me and you, hey, listen, if this person has abused someone that's, same race, different race, whatever the case would be, overusing their authority in any way, shape, or form, and it's 2 prior instances, baseball, 3 strikes, you're out.
3 strikes, you're out.
Which this is the situation. 13.
Yeah.
So why is this a problem, but this was justified when it came out?
Right.
Why are officers with 11, 21, 17 prior incidents? 5. What? 3. If this is so much, why are these okay and allowed to stay on the force? But this is, we should have saw the signs when we got to it.
Now listen, all the social media platforms out there, here we're having a conversation. We're not trying to incite or go against anything. These are just 2 guys and kind of our opinions. And we're trying to bridge this, and we're trying to help people understand and walk through it. So please don't silence us or whatever, because we love all life, and here's what we're trying to do is help people understand. Now, I'm also going to say, and I'll be the first to say, you'll be the first to say, listen, I would not want to be a police officer in today's world. Okay. I love it. Listen, because you don't know what you're walking up on. You don't know the situations you're going to be in. And when you wear the blue, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't want to do it. So I thank you for your service. But yes, as we have talked about for the last few years, you might be part of the world's biggest gang. Right?
Unknowingly. Unknowingly.
Right. Hey, Bree, how are you? Happy New Year, Coach. Welcome in. You guys are asking all the right questions. Okay. Yeah.
Just asking for consistency.
My frustration.
Math ain't mathing, Coach.
My frustration as the white guy on today's show is in the headlines. It's not 5 African-American officers, where it would have been 5 white officers. We really would have highlighted that. Okay. Now that's me being upset with media. Again, where is the equality? Right. But here's the other thing that the people who are pulling strings, I'm going to ask is, we have an issue.
Right.
Hey, you have liver cancer. I'm not going to tiptoe. Yeah, no, I'm not going to tiptoe. I'm not going to tip. There's an issue here, folks. And what I hope now that people realize is, like, wait a minute, we've got a bit of a problem here, don't we? With this is why we were taking a knee.
Right.
There's brutality. It makes no difference which neighborhood you're in. It makes no difference on which state you're in. There is a problem.
So then let me ask you this, and I'm not at all inciting this or anything
like
that. The police chief and the mom said, please do peaceful protests. If you're going to protest,
yes,
don't do anything, don't burn anything, blah, blah, blah. One of kind of the pushback was they're only this upset because it was a white officer.
Yeah.
They killed a black guy.
Correct.
If it was one of you guys killing one of you guys, you wouldn't be this mad. Okay. So would it take a non-peaceful for them to be understood? Like, it's not just because it was a white officer killing a black kid. It's like you're saying, it's police brutality towards anyone has people this upset. Yes, we do feel that one group is targeted more, but I'd be just upset if something happened to Kent by officers as Elijah.
Yeah. Well, and for the people who, again, what verse of this song are you singing? Right? It is if you were, well, they're doing this because it's white. There's so much blood. Okay, hey, where are our people? Can we hear about South Side of Chicago? Black on black crime. This is black on black crime.
Run the play.
On two. Ready?
And
Motion.
break.
Let's go.
Right.
Right. But now many people are going to be very silent.
Lots of people. Okay, so you said this, right? You said, I'm frustrated because the article says, it doesn't say 5 African-American police officers killed black guy.
Just
right?
5 police officers.
5 police officers. However, what the headline does show, we talked about on Yahoo, is 5 thugs. So
right under the headline too. If you go to Yahoo News, it's like there's the headline: 5 brothers in hoodies.
So I understand that you're upset with how it's being worded. I'm still frustrated about what's being.
No, I am too. That's why I sent it to you.
But then there's also a thing that I'm frustrated at from my side that I guess like you would be frustrated because like how you're saying it, how it doesn't say 5 African Americans killed an African American. It does say 5 convicted.
That's
and
true.
I don't see 5 convicted.
That's true.
So when it's like the end game, what we really did, okay, yeah, you white man killed African American and gets a year and a half or gets probation or get paid
unpaid.
So
leave.
that title and headline is just as more frustrating.
It is.
You know what I mean?
So it's like it's like playing chess, right? And you make the move, the Queen's Gambit, and I go, oh, he's doing the Queen's Gambit. That's why I sent it to you. I go, oh, they're doing this play, right? And yeah, it wasn't until a year or two later convicted. It wasn't 14 days later, 16 days. I mean, that's quick.
I mean, there's
they didn't have time to lawyer up.
Incident after incident that had just as good footage. You know, that's
sometimes better.
5 officers in their body cams. Breonna Taylor had at least 7.
Yeah. But all these dash cams and body cams seem to. And listen, this is just me and my humble personal opinion. I don't like hitting a squirrel when I drive. So seeing a human get killed is I won't watch it. It's something that I won't watch because I'm like, it doesn't sit right with me. Right now, if I'm in the woods and I have to, kill something to eat it, a fish or something, okay, I get that, and I'll thank the life for that. But I mean, there's a lot of people they're releasing this, and a lot of people in America are going to watch it, and I'm just like, now you're watching someone get murdered. That shit goes into your brain.
Right.
I mean, that's not a good thing. That's just me.
Do you think the hoodie thing? Because like, when Back the Blue came out, a lot of times it was like, well, I'm saying that because I have an uncle that's a police officer, right? And then that's why people would back the Blue despite how certain situations looked. Do you think they put them in hoodies? So I feel like for those who said back the Blue in certain situations, it's like, yeah, back the Blue, but not that blue because that's not my blue.
Right.
And they wanted to distinguish, this isn't your traditional blue. This is Black Hoodies blue.
Yeah.
And so I can still, now I can say justice. Now I can say doing the right thing, but we know what you're really saying.
Yeah.
Why is it all of a sudden you want justice against these police officers, but you didn't want justice against the other police officers?
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, see here now I just pulled it up, but I'm trying to find yesterday's picture. Now
with the hoodies.
This is on Yahoo too, and I don't see it. So you see, they got that. All right, interesting.
They probably got some backlash for it.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you.
Because you've never seen.
Right. And the issue here again, like I said, hey, you have liver cancer. I'm not going to treat you for a sprained ankle.
Let me text the article to you.
No, I got it. I can probably shoot it up there so people can see what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's an issue. There's a problem, and we have to address that problem instead of try to make it a color thing, right?
So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they're releasing the video footage after there's already been conviction of the police officers, and they're knowing what it's going to entice, right? They're knowing that it's going to upset a lot of people. Why wasn't body cam footage ever released in other trials that would have at least given clarity? Like, if you want us to know for sure this is why they were convicted like this, and you'll be able, because the police chief said, you'll be able to see without question this is what happened. Okay. Yeah. Why not in any other situations where there's this gray area of my perspective versus his perspective, he said, she said, on how the murder took place? Why isn't that footage ever released so that we can see for ourselves whether or not that really happened? Why only in this case is that the situation?
You're being, do as I do, not as I say, type of a thing. Yeah, absolutely.
But if we're going for clarity, even after the fact, okay, let's be clear. Let's see it from all angles.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen, I think, right? I'm trying to see if I can get this up. There it is. We'll share this screen.
There it is.
Okay.
See, buddy, on the left, the top left. Why is it so dark?
Right. Yeah, later in the day, maybe.
It's still the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I gotta see if I can get the right one up here. That guy. Yeah. Yep. All right, sure. All right, so I'm going to share something. If you're with us, go to 216 the net. Facebook, YouTube, out on Twitter, whatever you at studios_216. And here's what we're talking about to give you a little better idea of what Phil and I are saying. So this is right off of Yahoo News. You're seeing that right up here. And it just says Tyree Nichols' death. Former Memphis police officers charged with, I guess it's charged with second-degree murder. Okay. So maybe they aren't convicted, but charged with, but also lost their job. But what I want you to do is take a look at the picture that they put out there of these 5 officers who perhaps have given 15, 20 years of their life to the service, right, of protecting others. If you did not read the headlines or understood, and you saw these 5 pictures,
hold on, go back to it, please.
What do you say? Right, you need it bigger?
Oh, I'm saying the headline.
Yeah, charged with second-degree murder. And that was last week. So that was they were fired immediately.
Tyree Nichols' death.
Yeah.
Second-degree murder.
January 7th arrest, right? So I mean, if you take a look at it, it was swift action, charged. So that means they're being held, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, as you read the article, like, at first glance, you just see someone died.
Yeah.
Second-degree murder. 5 black dudes with hoodies on. Again.
Okay. And again, the play, right? The Queen's Gambit, the play that has happened in the past is we're either seeing them in their uniform or in an orange jumpsuit after.
So we already get that picture.
The only thing that's missing on these mug shots is what? The bars in front of them. Right?
Right.
I mean, that's really the only thing that's missing. But again,
cherry on top.
But again, these guys, husbands, fathers, possibly good people, possibly, right? I don't think you're ever a good person if you kill somebody. That's just me. But you know what I mean? And again, I don't know the whole circumstances. I don't know if obviously their life wasn't threatened because they're now right. But the idea of that picture is we're trying to convey something, an image of a people, not of police officers, right? If it was of police officers, Phil, I think we would see them in their uniforms.
Right. And I just, again, I go back to every single time there's been, hey, this looks and sounds bad. But hey, he looks well in this picture of him. He couldn't have been that bad of a guy because he's a decorated police officer. He served this amount of time in the military.
Yeah. Did 2 tours in Iraq.
Did
whatever.
2 tours in right. Wife, kids, son Connor. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Despite what he's accused of.
Why? Yeah.
Right. Allegedly.
Alleged.
I didn't see allegedly in that
There
title.
was no alleged.
No. They're charged.
Yeah.
There was no
and we apologize for our error. We did say convicted at first, and we apologize. But charged.
But when I see a guy who had minutes kneeling on the guy's neck, it was allegedly kneeled on. No.
Was the alleged cause. Yeah.
There's footage of him. It's not alleged.
No.
The footage shows this is
confirmed. And again, I mean, I feel for Memphis. I mean, this shakes you to your core, right? And they're trying to say, well, we don't anticipate violence, but we are taking some precautions. And I'm like, all right, so here's the next play, right? What is the next play in the Queen's Gambit? Okay.
In Memphis?
In Memphis. Do you understand? So here's the play. Okay. So now they're over here priming the pump, as we used to call it in the old days.
Right.
Trying to get the water ready to come out. And we're saying, go ahead. So you people are now violent. So the not you people go, same thing. Southside Chicago. All the time, people. Savages. Right?
Right.
So that now they've made the move. And I go, I'll move my pawn here. And then and because I moved my pawn here, and my pawn was, we're going to release this tape. Now,
why would you do this?
I'm just going to play devil's advocate here.
Right.
Okay. These five gentlemen will sit in front of a jury of quote unquote their peers, people selected for the jury.
Mm-hmm.
How many of these people selected for the jury, right, will have seen this, and now it's tainted? Did you see that? Are you aware of it? Well, of course, you guys released it.
Right.
Why? Again, right? It wasn't the body cams that caught a kneeler on a neck. It was somebody who was shopping like, what the hey,
right?
This ain't right. Okay. Okay.
Which is crazy, but
right. So, but now we're gonna leak this. Who in Memphis is now going to have not seen it? Right. So now as we're sitting here, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I saw it. Oh no, we don't want juror number 8.
Well, they've also talked about in the past that they don't want to release certain stuff because they don't want like the social peer pressure to affect the jury.
Yes.
So what you're saying is, if we've said this in the past, well, Phil, the reason why they're with the body, if they do it, you know what's going to happen. And they're going to get peer pressure to say guilty, even though that may not be the case. And without all the evidence, we can't call them guilty. But in this situation, we'll go ahead and release the footage. We're going to get social peer pressure on the jury to do the right thing in this case. That's not the right thing.
Understand the game that's being played. I mean, that's and this is a move that we have been familiar with. Yet we tend to go, okay, you're doing the Queen's Gambit. I know what that move is, and I allow it to happen.
That's the thing.
I allow it to happen.
And let it happen.
And I don't condone violence of any type. As a basketball coach, I will say you know, be strong, don't back down. You know,
right.
You know, if you're gonna get a charge and put your knee up and go right through the person, right?
Carl Malone.
And then they won't stand there the next time.
Promise you.
Okay. Yeah, that's my move. That's my Queen's Gambit, right? That's the way that I teach. And, but I don't condone murder. I don't condone beating people up. I just, as a human being, here's what I don't understand. You and I get in a fight,
right,
and I hit you and you wobble and go down. I go, I think I'm okay. Now,
I'm in good shape.
If me and 4 of my friends
right,
hit you and I see you wobble and go down, and then my buddy's like, well, let me kick him.
right.
Oh, let me step on his head. The other 2 say, well, let me punch him in the kidneys, says the 5th. You know what I'm saying is in your brain as a human, at some point you have to go, yeah, enough is enough.
That's right.
Okay, this isn't right. Now, for those of you who are going to stand on the leg of, listen, you are trained to eliminate the threat. It was 5 on 1.
Was he unarmed too?
I don't know that. More than likely, but I don't know that. I can't say either way.
Right.
But it's 5 on 1. I don't think he was armed because there were no bullets shed. Right? If you listen, we've seen people in Milwaukee go into the we thought he was going for a knife. I shot him in the back. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, not once. Pop, 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 pop. Right? You have to now listen. I've never been trained as a police officer. We said that several times. However, just as a human being, I go, yep, he's down. I don't think he's getting up. You see that blood and pus coming from his eyeballs and his ears? I think that tells us we're done here, guys.
Eric Gardner murder. They choked this dude in front of a corner store.
Yeah.
Multiple cops. And he's saying, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Tabbing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. That means I fold. Whatever. Hey, listen, can't go.
Yeah,
go ahead. I don't want this no more.
Right.
No. And you can do it and get away with it.
So maybe it again goes back to what we're saying, Phil, is maybe the training has to be different. Maybe there's got to be different aspects. I don't know. Maybe all these officers had some sort of psychological issue. We want to talk about mental health. I don't know. Right. Like I said, just in my world as Kent. Oh, you're hurt.
Right. Oh, you're not unconscious. Probably a good time to cuff him and be done. Okay. But if we go back, if we go back to this picture here, okay. From that picture, and we can take a look at this picture and say I can stretch that picture out. I mean, these are all pretty athletic looking dudes. I mean, bottom 2, 6 foot, 6 foot.
Yeah. Right.
That guy's 5'11". That guy's about 6 foot. That guy's about 6'1".
They're
not little guys.
They're not little. Right.
None of them look skinny.
So
right. Probably solid.
But if I go back here, let me see if I can go back here and go here. I'll get that off of there so people don't have to watch me search. But yeah, so and again, I don't know Tyree if he was 6'10", 300 pounds. That I don't know. If somebody knows, let me know. That would be great because I would be curious to see what happened.
Even 6'10", you got 5 in shape police officers,
right? I mean,
it's not like he was 16 and he was winning,
right?
From what I understand, it was 6'10", and then that's the case.
Right.
And the quick fold, like
that's. I don't want a video. Let me see. Let me get a little bigger here. So here's the one I want. Let's use this. Okay. That's a little better one. So let me stop that, and then I'll reshare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up another. I'm going to pull up another picture of them in their police uniform. Okay, and what I'm trying to do is I really want to help people see or understand.
6'3".
Tyree was 6'3".
Mhm.
All right, so about the same size as these guys, right?
Great.
Not, I mean,
Good.
but 6'3" is not quite the same as all this. So here is a picture of the five that was in the Reuters or Reuters or whatever. So you're going to take a look. Now notice this guy doesn't look as big in this picture as he did in the mugshot.
It's a young Carl Winslow.
He really is, right? Neither is this guy necessarily as big as he looks, right?
Right.
So the way that we've portrayed the picture, this gentleman over here on the left, again, looks maybe to be
5'11".
5'11" in his 40s, maybe.
Right.
I mean, would you go there?
Yeah.
So if we take a look at them, these officers aren't as thugged out as those pictures
That guy's smiling.
in the headlines made them look, right? So there are tricks, and if I'm going to say this and it's going to surprise you, I'm sorry. There are tricks we can do with Photoshop to make people look a little bit different than what they are. We can squat it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like we could dim the light.
We can dim the lights. You know,
And their mugshot pictures.
So we want people to believe or understand or whatever. Now, here's the deal. The deal is this, folks. This has nothing at all to do with the color of skin. Okay, I listen. It has nothing to do with that. That's what we've been saying for the last 2 years. Is there's been 3 years now, close to, right? There's this is an institutional problem, right? So at what point does America go, ugh, right? To make change, to create change. I'm not saying defund the police. I'm not saying anything. And I'm not saying that I ever want to be in the situations that these men are in on a daily basis and women. I just don't. But there is a point in their psyche that they're above the law. There's a point, and that's why they do the things that they do. I know that if I do this play, I'm going to be fine.
Show word versus ours. Cameras didn't work.
Yeah. Right. I know that if hey, listen, this is we're on the south side of Chicago. We can do this.
How do you think this story is going to play out?
Right. Now, maybe when this footage is released, maybe you may see two of these guys going, whoa, hey.
Right.
But all five have been charged.
Right. So I was having a conversation with a friend, and he said something, and he said, do you feel like police brutality is going to be similar to the Roe v. Wade thing? And what he was saying is that for the past couple of years, if I was a black woman, it was my life did not matter. If I tried to say Black Lives Matter, what I heard was all lives matter, and my voice wasn't important until certain laws came. Mm-hmm. Now you want me to unify for women's rights with you, right? Mm-hmm. When it's police brutality, I'm like, hey, Kent, there's a problem over here. You're like, nah, it's not. Yours doesn't matter. Your problem doesn't matter. All problems matter until it starts to happen to you as well. Then you want me to march with you. Mm-hmm. Now you want me to, so that we have the numbers. At what point do we stop running that play where I'm going to tell someone they're not important until it's happening to me, and then I need them to unify with me? Yeah, because that's another motion. That's the zone offense.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever will.
because we had the similar conversation with the Indians on the train, right? During the Russian War in Poland and all that, and you find out that you're not welcome here either when you're asked to get off the train alongside of me. So is it only going to be bad, and should we only unify once this starts to happen in the suburbs?
So
if it starts to happen to certain groups.
So here's why it'll never happen. Phil, have you heard of the 1619 project?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it'll never happen. I mean, we don't ever want the United States of America to be on the same team. We are the forever junior college basketball team. I'm going to get mine. I understand you got the same jersey on, but I don't care. I'm getting mine.
We run the country like a JUCO.
I'm going to get to the next level. I'll leave you behind.
Respectfully, Shem, you actually do.
Yeah, no, Shem does. Good win last night against Oakton. The girls, MCC girls, beat Oakton. They were 18-2. They took them by 17 points. Hey, that was a nice game. Yeah. Oh, were they? Boy, you just saw that coach frustrated and those players frustrated. I go, yeah. But the girls, the ladies, played well. So this, if you're not aware of the 1619 project, go ahead and take a look at it.
I'd be careful what you tweet for people to watch. Didn't work out good for Kyrie.
Right.
If you come across it.
And the reason that I say this is there's a lot of pushback on that. There's this is fake history. This is whatever, right? Again, we go back to that story, but basically, the United States will never. If we all link arms,
right?
Just think how powerful we would be as a collective group. But if we don't link arms, the people who are doing the Queen's Gambit know that we can still make this play and it works. Okay. There's and here again, let me put it to you this way. On these smartphones here, it says, is it okay if we use your location?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us go, yeah, whatever, sure, go, whatever. Now, the reason they do that is they're going to feed me what I want to see here in this location. So I get the thugs. Oh, yeah. I get the picture of the thugs. Now, if I was in, and just not too far from here, let's go to, if I was down in Joliet, let's just say Joliet. I'm going to leave Chicago out of this. Let's go to Joliet. Right? Let's go down to Clinton. Right? Let's go to Normal. Would I see perhaps these 5 in the police outfit instead of thugs? And the answer is, yeah, I would. Oh, there you go. Hey, Jan, good morning. Glad to have you with us.
Okay, so you said that based off your location, certain things that you see, and you're not wrong, right? But I was inquiring, like, how is it if, okay, we're up here, this is McKinley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's easiest for us to see articles on Chicago crime, which is an hour and a half away, than drug epidemic here in our county.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are we more programmed to seek the violence way in Chicago than to be like, man,
marketing
on this down the road, right on Green Street,
marketing.
3 kids up.
Marketing. We want you to come out here.
Right,
we need your tax
176.
money.
There was a kid who
land of the free, home of the brave. You can
we
achieve
won't
your
hear
dreams.
Anything about it? It's not till you get behind closed doors and you sit in these board meetings. And you're like, well, there's a hole here.
What? Yeah.
This article that shows me all of the relevant news never showed me this.
Never.
It only shows me how many kids are killing each other in Chicago, not how many kids are passing each other the drugs that's overdosing them here in Fox Valley.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So it's everything is designed for us to be okay. It just is. And it's easier to control the
That's
animals,
crappy,
right?
though, bro. Because
it is.
Like when they do it like that way, and then you've seen this. When it's only showing the problem in Chicago, up here says ill.
Yeah.
Chicago. Right? Or, hey, don't go there. We heard it, right?
Yeah.
They'll kill you for
Yeah.
changing the words, right? But if I were to hear that there's going on this in Fox, how can we help?
Yeah.
How can we help? If it's this bad, what resources do you guys need? Why are we quick to shun someone else for their problems, but then when it's over here and it kind of gets mentioned, we don't get the same compassion that we're looking for.
Here's the hope, I guess, to answer your question too, is that if you take a look at Washington, D.C., it's starting to become a melting pot of elected people, right? It's still awfully snowy out there, right?
I was like,
no, but it's becoming. There's more ethnicity now in those chambers than ever before. And when I say more, it's still not a lot.
It's mid-mountain. It's vegetation. Yeah. It's not snow-capped.
But it's still a lot of
You can still get good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with it.
Yeah. So that gives us a hope, right? But again, is that for show as well?
Because of what I've seen, they could veto your voice.
Oh yeah. Or you just, well, I didn't show up to vote.
Or they utilize you to get the vote, and then they never hear from you again.
Yep.
As soon as you got out, they hit the mute button. Come on.
Well, I mean, and you take a look at what happened. It's like, a lot of the new folks like, no, man, you sold out for them. You don't get that position. And then they're like,
take care of that problem.
There you go. And they're like, oh yeah, I like him again. So when it comes to this, my hope is that the people listening start understanding. Oh, they're playing the Queen's Gambit again, right? They're running the play again, right? And look at the way that they do it. There's no allegedly. There was charged, right?
Because that's received as like, oh no, they did it,
right? Now
did it. Those guys in those hoodies,
yeah, that's the way they are, man. It's hard, right? And hey, look, you look at that and go, well, of course your pet tiger bit your face off. It was a tiger.
It was a tiger, bro.
You can't bring it. I don't care that you had it since a kitten, right? And that's what a lot of people are saying too. Of course, these thugs. Do
you see their mugshots?
Right. How did they ever get? You know what I mean? So it's the play, right?
Not the officer with the swastika tattoo. That's
yeah.
Who'd have knew?
Right?
Who'd have thunk it'd be him?
And as a people, as a collective people, we have to go, oh, they're doing this play again. And you have to kind of get mad about it and go, this is stupid.
But you can't get mad. That's the thing. I was having a conversation. It was like, if you're a minority, as soon as you show anger, you're the angry black dude, you're the angry black woman.
Yeah.
And then
you're not the hurt person.
You're not that hurt stuff is not seen. You're the and then look. Can I talk to someone who's more calm, level-headed?
Right.
But if you ask most people, how many times would you, if this was any other group dynamic, would you allow that to happen? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, even as a parent, like if a kid pushed Elijah maybe once, twice, all right, look the other way, whatever. But after X amount of time and X amount of years, like, hey, man, hit him. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If we were about to fight old people over toilet paper, like I don't think in any other situation, like, let's just continue to turn the other cheek.
Eggs now.
I don't see it. We get upset in the Home Depot. Yeah. Like Mary said, we're yelling and shouting. This is for asking a question.
Yeah.
But that guy would tell this group, don't be upset. How? You just grew up in Home Depot.
So here's why it'll never change. I don't know, you've probably seen this TikTok. This white dude, right, dresses in overalls and goes up to somebody in a Walmart or whatever, white dude, beard, and goes to an African American, and whatever he's standing in front of, he goes, "Hey boy, get me that." right? Have you seen this?
But I lived in the South, so par for the course.
So and it's the guy over here filming it, right? And the black guy doesn't see them, or the black gal, whatever. So a good friend I grew up in high school, he puts this on there, and the guy goes, "What?" Right? And he goes, "You heard me, boy." Right? So he goes. So dude takes his jacket off, tackles the guy, just starts. And the guy with the camera, whoa, it's just a prank. It's just a prank. And I'm like, good that you got your ass beat. Right? Now they edit out the first punch, so you see him go like, and I'm like, and so my comment was, I go, right after that, Jethro went back to the double wide, wrapped up in his Confederate flag, grabbed a natty light, and started mumbling, "It was just a prank." But I'm like, stupid, number one, and you're lucky it was probably a non-concealed carry,
right?
Because you'd have found the wrong. And that's why it'll never change. "Quote unquote, just a prank." No, you don't. That's not a prank.
What you expect me just to laugh that out, like, oh, you
Right.
called me boy?
Yeah.
No. And Jethro's probably like, see, they have an anger problem. Look how violent.
We're just getting real.
No, anybody in that situation is going to be very upset with you. And maybe it took this for you to stop doing that, but like, why do you think that someone should have to tolerate that type of disrespect? For views?
Right. For views?
Dude, no. We're at 2000. No. You're not going to talk to me that way.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, so, it was, I'm just like, okay, here's that's why this will never change, Phil. Because some people think it's cute or funny or just a prank, right? And it's not. It's not. And it's I've never. The only time I was in college. And I came back here to Chicago with Walter Shaw and David Brumfield, my teammates, for a weekend. And so I'm 19 years old. Now, understand, I got a nice high top fade, right? I got it faded in, boxed up. Oh, it looks good, right? Yeah, I had hair once.
Shout out to Jesse.
Yeah, and and here's the deal. It was around Christmas time, and I was with Butch Witt. He and I came into Chicago with these guys on the weekend, and we went to Evergreen Plaza.
Wow.
Right? Now I
for those of you who don't know, it's not the spot for Kent to go in Chicago.
No, I mean, and this was the first time in my life that I saw a black Santa. Right? I mean, and it was at that time I was like, "Oh boy, I'm not in Iowa anymore."
No,
I'm not in Iowa anymore.
Was you ringing the bell?
Yeah. And I never felt unsafe, but I never felt comfortable. Does that make sense? And that's probably the closest thing to racism that I have on the receiving end.
Right.
And nobody ever really looked at me cross-eyed, three ways or whatever.
Yeah.
I just realized that I was a super minority. Now, Butch was with us, and Butch is 6'2", blonde hair, blue eye.
Right.
And and we're naive. Nothing happened, of course. But it was at that point I was like, "Huh, this is different," right? And so that's the closest thing I and there wasn't any racism involved at all.
Right.
They probably thought I was a narc anyway. I was in, I was in my Nike Air sweatsuit or whatever. Yeah. Watch out for that. We've seen 21 Jump Street. This works. So right. So but that's the only thing I have to relate because I've never felt it.
I think we've talked about this
Yeah.
though. Like, when the I guess the tables are turned, right, and it is
Yeah.
a 1 to whatever ratio.
Oh.
It's kind of like I am the only one here, and there, even on the other hand, like there's a heightened sense of just nervous or what could happen, whatever. But again, on the flip side, I'd be told at a chamber event, "Why do you seem nervous?
Yeah.
Relax." Blah blah blah. Blah.
Well, I imagine they were walking by, go, "Don't stare at him. Don't make eye contact. What is he doing here? Do not make eye contact. That's bad news."
I want to say though, the one thing that I keep hearing in situations like the mom said and the police chief said was, don't react. And for a very long time,
violently,
don't respond violently, right? But what I don't hear in these situations is stop provoking.
Correct.
That's the part where, because even MLK speech is like, for too long we've told wait, be patient, blah blah, and that day never comes.
Yeah.
But okay, so when I told to stop, just because the peaceful thing doesn't work, as we've seen, right? When is it not react violently or don't do this, but let's stop provoking.
Yeah.
They're asking them to not do this. At the same time, we got to hold this side accountable as well and stop provoking.
Mm-hmm.
Then we don't have to worry about how this side responds because there's nothing to respond to.
So, deal with the problem. Don't deal with the symptoms.
Right.
And it's not the people that are the problem. There are some people who are problems, yes, but it's not the people who are the problems. This is a process, and it's the same story over and over and over and over and over again. Listen, we're on the back end of this. They're releasing that footage today. I'm not going to watch it because I can't see that. Right? I don't like that. If you watch it, let me know what you think. I would love to, send it to info@216thenet.com. I'd love to get your thoughts. For all of us here at 216net and the Bridge, thanks for joining us. Next week, we are going to have perhaps a really cool guest with us. We're going to start bringing in some guests and some successful people. But Bill and I thought maybe this week we needed to just jump on this a little bit because here's the Queen's Gambit again.
Running the same play.
Same play.
We absolutely love you guys. See you guys next week.
Yep.
Same time, same bad channel.
That's it. For all of us here at 216net, thanks for getting caught in the net. Till we see you again, be good. But more importantly, be good to one another.
Love you guys.